When we talk about trade deals, there's obviously the Trans-Pacific Partnership. What's your view on that?
You know, I have a sense that it's probably laden with crony capitalism. I have heard from people that I respect that it actually advances the ball, so I would keep an open mind. But the devil's in the details, and I don't know the details of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. But I would be a skeptic looking at that to begin with, because I think it's laden with, like I say, those that have money that are buying favoritism. It's for sale, and it's getting sold. Look, I haven't raised a penny of taxes in my entire political career, and neither has Bill. I was looking at what I heard was a carbon fee that potentially, from a free market standpoint, would actually address the issue and cost less. I have determined that, you know what, it's a great theory, but I don't think that it can work, and I've worked my way through that. I support a person's right to choose. So when it comes to vaccinations, all right, we should be able to make the decisions as to whether or not we want to vaccinate our kids or not. Now, I choose to vaccinate my kids. So eliminate income tax, eliminate corporate tax. Because you're going to do that, you're going to also be able to abolish the IRS. And we would replace all of that with one federal consumption tax. Now, how do you do that? Well, there's an actual proposal out there. It's called the FAIR tax. And it's how you dot the I's and cross the T's when it comes to establishing one federal consumption tax. If we had zero corporate tax in this country, I believe tens of millions of jobs would get created. If we did not have corporate tax, if we did not have income tax, I believe that pink slips would get issued to 80% of Washington lobbyists, because that's why they're there, to garner special tax favors.
Actually, income tax, corporate tax.
A couple hundred congressmen and women, maybe 160, have actually signed on to this proposal. So this proposal's been around for quite a while.
And how many oppose it?
Well, you got what? How many? 400? Well, by oppose, not necessarily oppose, but you
haven't signed on.
Haven't signed on. Well, that would be more than half have not signed on, but a significant number have. So it's been vetted. It's out there.
Okay, so this consumption tax.
Yeah.
How does this work?
It would be a 28% consumption tax
across the board
on all new goods and services, not used goods and services. And before you fall off the chair, the theory is that it wouldn't necessarily, it would be cost neutral. So if I could use a can of Coke as an example, a can of Coke that sells for $1 today has corporate tax contained in that buck. It has unemployment contained in that buck. It has Social Security match contained in that buck. It has Medicare contained in that dollar. It has the accounting fees and the legal fees that go along with complying with the IRS and the filing with the IRS. So arguably, the can of Coke would not sell for $1. It would sell for 73 cents. And then the 28% tax would get applied to the can of Coke. So you'd still end up paying $1 for the can of Coke. That's the theory.
So by doing this and eliminating income tax, how much different would the amount be that the government receives?
This is intended to be revenue neutral. Revenue neutral. So the government's still going to receive the same amount of money. That's also the projection.